So I decided to take a gap year, but taking a gap year at that time was definitely daunting. Even like especially due to the Nepalese society, like taking a gap year seems to be incredibly tough. People are like, oh, you're not doing anything for a whole year. So yeah, I applied ED1, Washington and Lee. I got in, so I think it was, that week was really good. Argentina won the World Cup. I'm a big Messi fan, and I got into the college I wanted to, so it worked out well for me. It's not that difficult to incorporate if you love something so much. I'm not that busy that I cannot even incorporate something that I really love. So one thing I was telling my friend is, like, there are thousands and millions of people in this world that would love to have the life that we have. So we are privileged. Yeah, those two things really stuck with me, and those come from the experiences I've had.
सबसे सुरुमा चाहिँ why did you choose Washington and Lee?
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here. First of all, it was not in my radar to apply to that university, Washington and Lee. So my friend Adhip, he was planning on applying there. I think it was ED1. Yeah, it was ED1. And it is one of the few liberal arts colleges that has engineering, and I intended to major in engineering. Now plans have changed, but then I wanted to do engineering, and I wanted to go to a liberal arts university because of the small setting. I thought the community will fit my needs, and that's the reason why I applied to Washington and Lee. First, the community. Second, I thought that a semi-urban setting would do good to me, sort of escaping from the chaos of Kathmandu. And the third reason, probably the strongest one, is their robust financial aid package. So that was a big deciding factor for me. So yeah, these three factors coupled together led me to Washington and Lee.
So now, अहिले चाहिँ हजुर केमा मेजर गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ?
I'm not decided yet. We decide winter term of sophomore year, the second year. So as of now, the plan is to major in mathematics and economics, and probably minor in computer science or data science.
Okay, so that's nice. So you said it was robust financial aid. So can you highlight that and a bit about Bonner Scholars program as well?
Okay. So there are not many, from my experience at least, there are not many universities in the US that provide good financial aid package to international students. Even if they do, you have to haggle, you have to say, hey, please, this is my situation, explain all sorts of things. For me, that was a hassle. So Washington and Lee, from what I heard from others, did not do that. If your need is real, then they met your needs. So that was my case, and thankfully I got a really good package. And talking about Bonner leaders, Bonner scholars, what most people confuse it with is that it's some sort of merit-based scholarship. In some universities it is, but at Washington and Lee it is not. So being Bonner means that you are interested in non-profit work, you're interested in volunteering, and yeah, that's what I'm interested in. That's what I did past 1 year. So being a Bonner scholar means that you have some volunteering requirement throughout the week. So the recommended, I think, limit is like 8 to 10 hours a week, but you can obviously go beyond that. But for international students, the federal limit is 20 hours, so you cannot go beyond that. So past year, being a Bonner scholar, I volunteered at Habitat for Humanity. I'm surprised that there is Habitat for Humanity in Nepal. I did not know that. So what Habitat for Humanity is that you go and build houses for others, like sort of underprivileged people whose income is not that stable. So you build houses for them. And when I say build houses, I mean literally build houses. You take the bricks, the mortar, trowel, everything. You do the roof. So past 1 year, I worked for like 4 hours a week, one shift, amazing, tiring at first, but you learn a lot. And the other place where I worked as a Bonner scholar is the campus kitchen. So it's different from the dining hall that we have where like they serve food to us. Campus kitchen is somewhere we cook ourselves for, again, people in the community for whom nutritious food might be an issue. So yeah, that's what Bonner Scholar is. Really fun. You get to give back to the society, the community where you're studying, and you feel grateful for the opportunities you get.
Okay, so that's like really interesting. And so now, like from your activity list, you have been involved in works that involves giving to the society and community. One such activity was like your involvement in Akshara School and then like various tutoring programs. So can you share more about your activity-based curriculum and conceptual learning approach you proposed while teaching at Akshara School?
Yeah, I mean, Akshara, again, it was Adhip who helped me get to that school, so thanks to him. I always liked teaching, even when I was in school, like 9, 10, 11, 12. I always liked clearing doubts for my friends. So I think it was in grade 12 that I decided to open a YouTube channel, and then I solved mathematics problems, especially focusing on calculus. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then during my gap year, I thought, why not go to a proper school and see how good of a teacher I am? And it was a cool experience. I taught. I was a part-time teacher, so I didn't stay there the whole day. So it was grades 9 and 10, occasionally 8, and my focus was math and science. So, and it was the things I'd already done before, so not really challenging, but again, fun at the same time. Got to teach students, and since I had been like student just recently in grades 9 and 10, I sort of knew the expectations the students had. So that was really exciting, and continuing my passion for teaching. I'll be a peer tutor at Washington and Lee this coming year, so I'll be teaching my fellow classmates, my juniors, seniors, and I'll probably be helping them with economics and mathematics.
Okay, so like you also worked in Gorkha and somewhat related to this field. So can you highlight that as well?
I mean, it was a school in my hometown, and we went there. I think it was my grade 8 or maybe I think 7. I don't remember. And I mean, it's a rural part of the country, not extremely rural. I mean, buses and cars do go there now, but like when I was in 8th grade, the condition of the roads was not that great. So it was a pretty rural place, not many students, and somewhat, I'd say, carefree about life. I mean, and it's not their fault at all. So it was the situation. So what we did was we taught the basics of academics, and then again highlighting the importance of being serious in life, having a proper plan A, plan B. So again, you go to a rural part of the country, you see the students, and you feel grateful for the opportunities you have, how privileged you are to be in this place. And yeah, we tutored there. I went there again a couple of times and had to stop because I had to go to the US.
Okay, so like for 8th grader, do you think that is like something that normally 8th graders don't do, right? So what motivated you at that time?
I mean, to start off, it was not my plan to fully tutor them. It was my dad's, because he studied there, he grew up there, and then he moved to Kathmandu. He has seen what people there, really do. So it was his idea. I just tagged along, and after that, I mean, I loved teaching, I loved tutoring, and then that's how I caught on.
Okay, so like, can you describe some of the challenges and successes you encountered while the process of teaching and tutoring?
Yeah, teaching is not that easy. When we are students, we feel it's very easy. When we take teachers for granted at times, that's definitely not the case. That's been my experience, because there are so many students, every student with different needs. Some catch on to things early, some don't. Some find it difficult to understand the way you're explaining. So I think the biggest challenge has been catering to the needs of different individuals with different needs. That would have been my biggest challenge. And the thing that I love the most is just, sort of like imparting wisdom, knowledge to others, something that I know I'm giving to others. So that's something I've really loved. And simply working with people who are willing to learn, and their curiosity, questions, inquisitiveness, I've enjoyed being a part of that.
Okay, so like as a school captain as well, you initiated free peer tutoring program, and what impact did it have, like, amongst friends?
Yeah, we did. It was not as full-fledged as we would have hoped. It was just like an after-school thing for a few weeks, but it was something we talked about. I talked with my mathematics teacher, and because again, I mean, SCE is sort of a big thing in Nepal. You'd want to score good grades, and that's the reason why we were in talks with that. And I think some people did see the value in it and take good help of that.
Let's walk through your application journey. How was it like?
I mean, I applied during the last year of high school, so in grade 12, and it was not as good as I had hoped. So, I mean, I was high on confidence, as I think most of the students are during their first application cycle. I thought I would pretty easily land a good college, but that was not the case. I mean, I did get a few colleges, but not with the good aid I had hoped for, and not the ones that I really wanted to go. So I decided to take a gap year, but taking a gap year at that time was definitely daunting. even like especially due to the Nepalese society, like taking a gap year seems to be incredibly tough. People are like, oh, you're not doing anything for a whole year. So I took a gap year, worked with my friends on how to tackle the big demon of applications. And I mean, I sort of realized where I went wrong during my first application process. I think it was my essay. My first ED1 application was due November 1st, I think, and I started my essay on October 20th. So it was like 10 days. I don't know what I was thinking. That was totally wrong. I mean, some people might still pull it off, but I was not able to. So, and I didn't change my essay throughout. So that essay which I wrote in 10 days, I used that for my ED1, ED2 regular decisions, and that plan definitely backfired. But then I realized that this was my mistake. So the second time around, I made sure I corrected it, and I was very proud. I still am very proud of the essay I wrote, because what happens mostly is you write something, you look after a year, you feel, what did I write? But when, like, even if I go back to my essay now, I feel that that was a pretty good essay. So I think I aced on my essay. The others, they were good. I mean, I had activities that I was proud of. I mean, school captain, I was involved in sports, non-profit, like giving back to the society. So I think it was a well-rounded application overall. And yeah, I applied ED1, Washington and Lee. I got in. So I think that week was really good. Argentina won the World Cup. I'm a big Messi fan, and I got into the college I wanted to. So it worked out well for me.
Yeah, so like I've read your essay, it was incredible. And then now, how did you like plan out your essay? What was your thought while writing it?
The story of the essay remained the same from the first time to the second time. The story was the same. The only thing I added was better storytelling. The first time it was like writing an answer during an exam. It was like straight to the point. This happened. This was the thing. I learned this. Over. But the second time, I made sure it's a little more appealing. The word choices changed, and I told it in a format like a story, like maybe a fictional story. The facts were correct, but it was like fictional story. So I think it was more appealing for the readers to read. The first time, I don't think it was that good for anyone to read. Like, I don't think they would be hooked up to read that story. But I think the second time, they were more interested, and yeah.
Okay, so like, what do you think was the major part, apart from essay, that highlighted your common application?
I did put a lot of effort during the second time. I went like towards the crux of the thing. Like I don't know. There's one. I think it's common data set CDS. I looked through the CDS of so many universities, figured out what they sort of prioritize. Is it the essay? Is it the extracurricular activities? Is it your SATs? So the second time, it was extensive research that helped me. So yeah, the first time the preparation was very raw. It was rushed. I was riding on overconfidence that, hey, I'm going to get a good college. And the first time humbled me. Second time, I knew I have to bounce back better, and I think I did.
Okay, so like, what extracurriculars do you think had the greatest impact in your application?
The school captaincy, I think that was key. The part-time teaching, that was, I think, important. And I think the YouTube channel really helped, because it sort of solidified my passion, showed others that I am interested in teaching. So, I mean, I had uploaded, by the end of the application cycle, I think I had like 100+ videos solving calculus problems. So I think that was a key factor. Yeah, sports was a big thing. I was involved with basketball, badminton, cricket a little bit. Yeah, so I think those were really key in taking me to the place I got.
Okay, so like, as an avid player of badminton, basketball, and cricket, how do you incorporate sports in your busy schedule, and what role does it play in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I really love sports. Had I started practicing earlier, I probably would have been a sports person. I love sports like a lot. I'm watching the Olympics. I was watching the Euros, the World Cup. I was even like, my professors will get angry with this, but I was watching the IPL during my classes. It was crazy. So it's not that difficult to incorporate if you love something so much. I mean, I'm not that busy that I cannot even incorporate something that I really love. So it's like 1 hour a day, 30 minutes a day, and make sure I have the updates of the sports I love. And there are many sports that I love, so at times I might be very busy to keep eye on all of them. But yeah, I don't think it's hard for me to incorporate sports.
Okay, so like you do seem to have a very high academic grades, and then you have lots and lots of extracurriculars. So how did you balance them both?
For what I've seen is if one person is focused on academics, they are interested in extracurriculars too. I think it's just the focus that you should be getting. If you're focused in your school stuff, then I think with that comes your interest in extracurriculars. I don't really know where my interest stems from. For academics, I think it's mostly because my family is a family involved in academia. My father is a professor, my mother is a teacher, so I've always been taught the value of studying, the value of getting good grades. And extracurriculars, I was interested like elocution, extempore speech, and all sorts of sports. So yeah, they went hand in hand. Not really difficult for me to find time. Like till grade 10, I don't think that it's hard for you to find time for both. If you like doing it, you'll find time either way.
It's like after grade 10 during high school, how did you manage that rigorous environment?
Yeah, it was COVID and then grades 11 and 12. Everyone said that Xavier's Maithigar is going to be academically rigorous. I was like, I'll probably manage. I was like, in grades 9 and 10, I studied like 3 days prior to the examination with like basic preparation before, but in grades 11 and 12, that was not the case. I tried that during my maybe first exam. I didn't do well, so then I realized that, hey, you have to prepare like 15 days earlier. But even then, like if you have done regular revisions, regular preparations, then you'll find time to do extracurriculars, even if it's academically rigorous. So I was part of the set council. That demanded me giving a lot of time to the set council during like the peak season. I think it's February where you do the cycle rally, the set exhibition, and then I was a part of the team going for sponsorships, requesting sponsorships outside. So I had to go to corporate houses during class time. So I had to recover after coming back home, watched a lot of YouTube. YouTube was a great friend of mine during that. But again, reiterating the fact, if you love something, if you really want to do something, I think you'll find time. Maybe like spend 30 minutes less on Instagram, 30 minutes less sleep, even though I don't like sacrificing sleep, but yeah, I think you'll manage.
So like, what were some of the key challenges that you faced as a secretary of set council, and then how did you overcome them?
It was the first time I was handling such a big role because I think, as far as I remember, it's been like 3 years. We request sponsorship of up to worth, I think, 20 lakhs. So that's a big thing. And I was a part of like the sponsorship requesting team. So I'd never been to corporate houses and requested for money. And that's an art in itself. Like no one's going to give you money for free. They are seeking their benefits too. So presenting our organization as an organization that will benefit them was a pretty challenging task, but as I went along, I learned how to do it. So I think sponsorship in the beginning, asking for it was the most difficult challenge I had, but eventually I figured out like how to do it. And yeah, the whole organization of the event, that was pretty difficult. But sadly, like when I was in grade 11, we had the set exhibition and the set cycle rally, but when I was the secretary, everything was planned, and then I think it was the second wave of COVID that hit, and we had to cancel, and then the event did not happen, sadly. But when we passed out, we again came back to help the juniors, and we treated like it was our event, and it was really fun.
Can you describe briefly about SAT exhibition and SAT rally, what it is and what it really does?
So I think it's the set council itself is the biggest club on campus at St. Xavier's College Maithigar. So what we do is the set exhibition is like a science fair but at a bigger scale. So 10,000 to 15,000 visitors in that particular day, students from all over the valley, even I think outside the valley, from government school, from private schools. So it's like a proper competition where you present your project, and it does not have to be, like it can be some ideas, policies, and I think things like that too. So that is what set exhibition is. To picture, it's just like a bigger science fair, like bigger scale, and it does not just limit itself to science, like policy and things like that too. And set cycle rally, that's a fun part. So I think there's just like 2 to 3 days of gap in between these two events. So the month of February, January, February is really crunch time for set council. So what happens in set cycle rally is it's done for a cause. It's done for the screening of cancer patients So the money goes to, I think the foundation is Richa Bajimaya Foundation. So the surplus money, we give it to them for the screening of women for cervical cancer. So it's done for a cause, very good attendance, a lot of people come, and yeah, it's really fun. Comes with challenges, it's cycle rally, the roads are not that great in every part of the valley, so some accidents, you have to take care of that. But other than that, really fun, people are really excited, and we do it for a cause. So again, fulfilling experience.
Okay, so now let's briefly talk about your experience in Seedlings Nepal. What is Seedlings Nepal and how was your experience like?
It's an organization for high schoolers to, it's a platform for them to showcase talent. So we intend to provide opportunities for them to showcase their talent. So the first thing was not done by us, the cohort prior to us, the managing team prior to us, they did a business competition. I think it was the first in the country at that time. So it was, I think some other organizations have caught on to that and done similar activities. So as a business competition, you're given a problem, you sort of solve it, you present it in front of experts, and they judge you on the basis of your analysis, your solutions. So that's what it was done. And then when we came as the managing team, executive team, we thought of conducting an MUN. I think it's still pretty in fashion these days, but back like 2 years ago, everyone wanted to do MUN, and for not necessarily the right purposes, for fun, but yeah, not just for the diplomatic reasons, but yeah. So yeah, it was, we thought of doing one in a little bigger scale, but we had not gotten into US colleges then. But then after that, like I think 4 to 5 members of the, maybe even 6 members of the organizing committee got into US universities, so we had to leave, so we could not really complete that. But then we started a book club. It ran for I think more than a month. People were interested again because we had to go to the US, we had to cut that short. But yeah, it was a good experience. I got to learn some more managerial skills. It was similar to being secretary of SET. So yeah, it was a cool experience.
So like as a project manager, what projects did you initiate in Seedlings Nepal?
Yeah, the first big thing that was initiated, could not be completed, was the MUN. We were planning with an Indian team, Indian organization. They had conducted MUNs in like big schools in India. So we were planning on collaborating with them, the book club, and we were also planning on doing some community service. But again, due to we having to leave for US, everything had to be cut down. And I'm not really sure if the other executive team got onto that and finished it, but yeah, that was the plan. Had to cut it down, unfortunately.
So were the responsibilities hectic for you as
no, not really. I mean, I was during my gap year, so I had some time to offer, and yeah, it was fun. Not a lot of time commitment. Some meetings, some individual planning. So yeah, it was not very hectic for me.
Okay, so now let's briefly talk about your interests and hobbies. What are they?
The first thing, as I've been telling again and again, sports. Love playing. Not really good at a lot of the sports I play. Love watching. And yeah, something else is I love cricket commentary in English, not in Hindi. Not as good in Hindi, but yeah, I really love English cricket commentary. Big names like love Harsha Bhogle, a famous commentator, Ravi Shastri. So I really love cricket, watching cricket, even the commentary and the other things. I'm really into watching informational videos online, like about the status quo of the world. One person I really follow is Dhruv Rathi, the Indian YouTuber, and I'm interested in Indian politics too. So watching his videos is really fun, and other similar videos, like maybe about if I want science, then Mark Rober. And yeah, so I love doing that and playing video games at times with my friends if they are available.
Okay, so like you have diverse set of experience ranging from teaching, tutoring, leadership, and project management. So what are the key lessons that you learned from these experiences?
I think all of them have sort of made me independent, and even I think going to the US has even made me more independent, something that we really need in life. So taking leadership positions puts you in a place where you have to take decisions yourself, not impulsive decisions. You have to think through and make decisions. So the biggest thing that I'd say has made me independent. I think like now I can function a lot of things without needing help. Not saying that others' help is not necessary, but Like, I think it has made me an independent person. And the non-profit work that I've done, like work related to giving back to the society, has really made me grateful of the things that I have that not everyone has. Like, until and unless you go out and see what other people have, you don't really feel grateful. You always feel that, oh, the other person is going on a week vacation, why just 2 for us? So you sort of whinge on things like that. But once you go out and see the inadequacies in other people's lives, then you realize that, hey, I'm much more privileged than others. And one thing I was telling my friend is, like, there are thousands and millions of people in this world that would love to have the life that we have. So we are privileged. Yeah, those 2 things have really stuck with me, and those come from the experiences I've had.
So how are you spending your time in US lately?
It's fun. The key thing is we get to live on campus for the first 3 years. That's how it works in my university. So the gym, the fields, courts very close to where we live. So if you are free, gather some friends and go. That's what I do. So if I'm free, I go play sports. And then the place where I live, it's Lexington, Virginia, is known for like natural beauty. So you have rivers where you can go kayak, paddleboard, and then there are hills where you can just go hike. So I do that a little bit. And yeah, most of the times it's studies. Again, that's the prime focus. And yeah, labs, sometimes late night labs, late night works with friends. That's fun. But yeah, it's really balanced out. It's not that difficult once you get good scholarship and you don't have the financial burden. Then you are free to set out and like explore whatever you want, be part of clubs, and do whatever you want. But if you have financial burden, like to pay to the college tuition and stuff, then I think you're limited and you have to focus on earning money.
So like, if you had stayed back here in Nepal, so do you think you would have missed major things out there?
I mean, I think so. There are always pros and cons of everything. The pro of staying here would be I'd be speaking my own language. That was a big thing that I missed, because every day I just speak like 10 to 15 minutes of Nepali with my family. So I missed speaking Nepali everywhere I went. I had to speak English, and after some point I was like fed up of that. Like, I don't want to speak so much English. So that would definitely be something that I mean, I missed there, and staying here, that would be a benefit for me. And the opportunities, yeah, I think staying in Nepal, I would not get as many opportunities that there are in the US. For example, like I'm building a library here in a community school, and they have given a grant for me to build that library. I think it would have been difficult staying here in Nepal, gathering funds to even build a library in Nepal. But like people from the US who live in the US are funding my experience to come build a library in Nepal. So opportunities like that I would definitely miss. And yeah, I was talking to my friend the other day that if there were universities like even 50% as good as the universities that are in the US, I would definitely stay in Nepal, because whatever it is home. You don't like, I don't think even if I live for let's say 5 years, I would not feel at home in the US.
So like, do you intend to return back?
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan for now. I do hope to come back. That's even, let's say hypothetically I don't want to come back, I think my family would like pull me and bring me to Nepal. So I think I'll definitely come back.
Okay, so now you mentioned briefly about your project of building libraries. So can you highlight that project?
Yeah, so the library, the school where I'm building is like 10 to 15 minutes walk from where my parents live, where my house is. And I've seen a lot of students there, and like there's a lot of craze these days to apply to like foreign universities, go to the US, UK, Canada, wherever, right? And the reason why a lot of students who went to government schools struggle to get into like good universities across the world is because they don't have sufficient grasp in English language. And that's something the universities really want, because you'll be conversing in English throughout there. So the reason I wanted to build a library first was so that students don't have to pay a lot of money just because they are not as good in English. Like, they have all the other potential to shine, but the only thing that's drawing them back is their English capacity. So one main reason was that. And the other thing is, even if they don't want to go to go to other countries, even in Nepal, to get a well-paid job, you have to be good, like English written and spoken both, right? So English being an international language, its benefits are immense. So I wanted to put some effort to help them improve their English abilities. So that's why I decided to build that library. And yeah, I mean, it's in my community where I live. So I've seen students, I've seen like the things they lack, the things they have. And I think library was one thing that they didn't really have, a well-managed library. So yeah, that's what I decided. And my university, especially like being a Bonner, really helped me connect with the right people to get the financial support, the academic support for this project. And it's not just building a library, like it's not a one-time thing for me. Come, get some books, toss it into the shelves and return back. Like I'm planning it to be a sustainable project, and I'm also writing a research paper on it to measure the writing English skills before the installation of the library and after, like 2 years after. So we'll be taking writing samples like every 6 months. So there'll be like 4 writing samples, and we'll be judging if the project was a success. If it was, then other places can emulate similar stuff. If it was not, then it's a learning thing that, hey, just making a library in a community school, a government school, might not be the best thing if you want people to have better English skills.
So like, do you intend to take this to other schools as well in the long run?
I mean, if it is successful by 2026's summer, if like we see tangible changes in people's, students' English skills, then probably yes. But again, I don't know if it's going to be me. If it is a success, then I hope people get to know about it, and then they take it to other schools in Nepal, in like developing countries like Nepal. So yeah, everything hinges on whether the project is successful or not.
So how responsive were the schools here? Because like, सुरु में जाँदाखेरि trust they wouldn't trust you, right? So like, how did you do that?
The best thing was that I knew the school, like I knew the people running the school. It's in my community, so I've met with the principal, the vice principal, so they already knew me from before, so that helped build a trust factor. And I clearly explained what are the things I'll be bringing into the table for them and what I expect from them. So the communication has always been clear. So yeah, me knowing them was a big thing in this project becoming a reality. So yeah, if out of the blue I would have said, hey, I want to build a library, then I don't think they would have trusted it, because it might be some sort of scam, something they should not be trusting. But since I knew them before, it really helped me communicate, and yeah.
So like, throughout your experiences, what do you think are the most valuable skills that you've learned?
During this library or everything?
In general, like till date.
Working with people, it's a big skill to have. I mean, how to respect everyone's opinion, because we are human beings, social animals. We have to work in collaboration with other people everywhere we go, because I don't think we can function solely. So how to communicate with people is a big thing that I've learned. Like, respect everyone, even if you feel that, hey, I've achieved big things, achievements. I don't think we should be valuing achievements so much that we don't even respect others. So I think, yeah, communicating with others, that's the biggest thing I've learned. And being independent, again, you need those skills. There will be times when other people won't be there to rescue you, so that's other big skill. Managing, like, as you said, studies, extracurriculars. If you are interested in something, passionate about something, then you'll figure it out, find time. So yeah, those are the things I've learned.
So what are your future aspirations after you complete your studies at Washington and Lee?
One of the benefits of going to an American institution is you have a lot of choices. You don't have to declare early on. Like in Nepal, you have to declare right after class 12, right? You want to be a computer engineer, civil engineer, doctor, lawyer. But the benefit of going to an American institution is you have like nearly 2 years, 1.5 years to decide what you really want to do. So I have not declared anything yet. As of now, plan is to do economics and mathematics. Again, those 2 subjects have like a lot of scope. I can do many things. Plan for now is just maybe get involved in like some financial sector, maybe like consulting, managerial consulting. I was once interested in investment banking. That's a big, like my university is very big on finance, investment banking. Like a lot of students want to pursue that. So I was interested too, but now I don't think I'll be pursuing that, because it's like working 100 hours a week, very hectic schedule, and I don't think I'm up for that. So as of now, maybe consulting. I did a non-profit consulting externship just a few weeks ago. So yeah, that's interesting, but I'm not really sure. Like as I said, I'm really into cricket commentary. So if like I might do manage this consulting for like 4 or 5 years and then jump into cricket, who knows? I mean, yeah, doors are open.
So like, do you also plan to continue social service along with it?
Yeah, I'm sure that I'll do it until I finish college. Like I'm enjoying that. The community in Lexington, Virginia, is really receptive of like international students, and yeah, I'm really having fun giving back to the community there. People are really great. Like there are so many people who helped even for the library project. They donated money. Some were ready to like ship books from the US to Nepal. So yeah, for like next 3 years, I'm set on contributing to the community there. But then after that, it depends on my time, my availability. But even if it's like passive involvement, I'm sure I'll do that throughout.
Okay, so how does your skills and your interests diverge into your future career goals? Like you mentioned, you want to go into banking, finances, and stuff. So how does all of these experience sum up to that?
Yeah, so I mean, I'd never taken economics class before, like this past year, never taken any economics class in Nepal. And I've just taken one economics class and I've really loved it. And credit goes to my professor, like he was amazing comparing to like experiences of other students in different classes. Mine was really great. It was very like you could relate to a lot of things. So I really loved economics, and so that's keeping me in check for the finance background. I'm taking accounting classes next this coming semester. I hope I like it. So my academic interests, I think they are in line with what I want to do in my future. And I like reading like Wall Street Journal and like other magazines, The Economist, magazines that are about finance, economy, and things like that. So yeah, my outside class interest, in class interest, I think they align pretty well. Yeah, I mean, I like watching YouTube videos about like investment banking, for example, like CEO of famous banks, what they did right, what was their journey. So yeah, I think everything is in line, but I mean, nothing's for sure. I might not even go to finance right after college. I might be doing something totally different. I might be pursuing a master's degree or like come back to Nepal immediately. So nothing is set in stone for now, but yeah, I'm really excited for what holds in my future.
So like you navigated your journey till yours, but then there are many high schoolers who are struggling and who are trying to figure out what to do ahead. So what advice would you like to give them?
I think focus is key. I've heard a lot of students say they're too busy to do this, to do that. Like even high schoolers, they say like, oh, I have so much homework to do. I cannot give time to my extracurricular. But I think like if you really want to do something, again, I've been reiterating this so much, is that if you really want to do something, I think you'll find time for it. Like till high school, at least in Nepal, I don't think anyone is too busy to focus on things that will help their career, like extracurriculars, academics. I don't think like people are too busy to be giving time to that. So if you're having some difficulty figuring out, first thing you need, if you're like totally confused, perplexed with what's happening around you, having a mentor really helps. Like I had so many seniors from Nepal, from my school, from 11th and 12th, who really helped me figure things out, like who put things into perspective, who really helped me know who I was, who I am as a person. So seeking help, seeking mentorship is, I think, the first key step to take. And the other thing that depends on you is being focused, working hard, and not being lazy, like not giving excuses. That's something I've heard a lot of people do. Not putting them like on the spot and saying, hey, why are you not doing this? But if you really want to do, I think you'll figure it out, find time for it. So yeah, finding mentor is key. I'm like highlighting this. I did that, really helped me. Like you don't know everything. Like there are people who can show the mirror to you and be like, hey, this is who you truly are. And you need that. You need other person's perspective. That goes a long way.
So like there are many high schoolers who are also eager to go to top US colleges and Ivy Leagues as well. So like what advice would you like to give them?
The competition is growing like exponentially. It's not even linear. It's like crazy exponential these days. Everybody wants to go to the US, preferably not paying a lot of money, getting the merit-based scholarship. So the first thing is research. Like I've seen a lot of people who go to educational consultancies and like say that they are willing to pay this sum of money without doing research, without knowing that they might qualify for merit-based, need-based scholarships in some other universities. So I think first step, even before going to consultancies, like take help of them as much as you want. They will be guides for you, but I think prior to this, you need to be doing research on your own. You need to figure out like, hey, there are these universities out there. And again, like I've heard a lot of people say they didn't find resources for that, but internet has it all. You just have to type, watch some videos, read some articles, and it'll be a perfect stepping stone for you in this thing. So first, do your research. There are so many good universities that offer really good aid to international students, like at least 20-25 really good, like maybe 30-35 universities that like offer really good aid to international students. It is hard, not easy, because it's, if you get a full ride in an American institution, it's the equivalent would be like nearly 5 crore Nepalese rupees, and they don't want to give that out for free. So you have to understand that you have to put out competition there. But I mean, if you don't do research, you're not going to find those institutions. So first, proper research, and then know your strengths and weaknesses. Like, I don't think it's too late to start out on applying to the US. Like, even let's say you had no idea till like grade 12, then if you start out, I think you'll find a lot of opportunities. Let's say you go to a good university and make big, then no one's going to remember that you took 2 gap years or 3 gap years. If you are really like happy and successful later on, then no one's going to remember that, hey, he took 3 gap years and got in. Like, it's, so that's key. And yeah, I think highlighting again, competition rising, so you have to put up a real good case, be involved extracurriculars, because academics, I think at times is overhyped in Nepal. People really run after grades, like by hook or by crook, they want to get good grades. But I think what sets you apart is not your grades. You need good grades everywhere, like, but if you, let's say, someone getting a 3.8 would be like, oh, I didn't get 3.9, now I'm ruined. But I don't think that's the case. 3.8, 3.7, 3.6, they're all good grades. So focus on your extracurriculars, like get out there, give back to your community if you can. Yeah, so don't be too focused on, too zoned in on academics that you forget extracurriculars, because at least for US, extracurriculars hold, I think, in my opinion, greater weight compared to academics.
Okay, so lastly, one memorable experience or one thing that you would want to share with our audience that you think we've missed during the podcast?
I mean, not really. Maybe one thing is that in Nepal, a lot of people think, we were talking this off camera, that a lot of people think US or other developed countries is heaven compared to Nepal. I don't think that's the case. I genuinely don't. Like, there are better facilities, but you do miss home once you go abroad. So don't think that your life is going to dramatically change once you go to the US. It has its own struggle. You're totally in a foreign land, different language. Like, even if you're really good in English, it's not your mother tongue, right? You still struggle to speak with them. So that's a big thing to note. So it's not heaven. Like, I've heard people say, America ta swarga nahi ho ni. That's not the case. You have your struggle. It's a totally different place. I don't think there's like, even like there are like 2 or 3 similarities with Nepal and the US. People's mentality is different, the way they operate is different, their thinking is different. So it has its own ups and downs. So if you stay in Nepal and like focus on your career, your future, you are good. You don't need to go to the US to have a good life. So yeah, that's something that I'd like to say to everyone out there.
So thank you for your time and being here. We have a small gift from our production set. So yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.